Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin this morning, I would like to take this short moment to personally apologize to the people of Fiji for my actions in the 2006 takeover of government. It is something that I've told radio interviews before. It's something I sincerely regret, taking part in the 2006 takeover of government. It is something I will be answerable to the people of Fiji, and when the time and opportunity arise, I will be ready to answer to the people of Fiji. People of Fiji, I am today speaking to you all about the future of our beloved nation. Nearly 5 years ago, the Fiji military forces, led by Commodore Bainimarama, ousted the SDL and Fiji Labour Party coalition government. There is no denial of the part I played in this fourth coup, together with Brigadier General Peter Ndriti. The platform and agenda of the takeover was to reform Fiji and tackle issues relating to corruption generally. After nearly 5 years, we are now faced with a different Fiji, devoid of the noble objectives of the RFMF to return Fiji to elections swiftly once the reforms were achieved. As you have seen, notable and prominent figures, all of whom initially supported the 2006 coup, have long departed or have been pushed out as the regime started to deviate from the original intent of the RFMF. The appeals court ruling in April 2009 made it clear the actions of the RFMF was unlawful and that our 1997 constitution was the supreme law of the land. At that juncture, we had the opportunity to revert back to the path of constitutional democracy and the rule of law. Sadly, this was not in the best interests of a handful of corrupt and scheming advisors of the dictator Bainimarama. The close group of Bainimarama and Qayyum swiftly decided to abrogate the constitution and impose indefinite self-rule over Fiji. International pressure, including those from New Zealand, Australia, US, the European Union, and the Commonwealth, poured in after the constitution was abrogated. It was then that Qayyum hatched a deceitful plan to come up with a so-called roadmap leading to the promised 2014 elections. These developments began to trigger senior officers of the RFMF to ponder where this path set by Qayyum was actually leading our nation. During the ensuing period, Bainimarama started to drift closer to Qayyum and ignored the advice and recommendations of the military councils. By mid-2010, Qayyum and a handful of advisors, which includes a former High Court judge, had completely indoctrinated the dictator Fiji indefinitely. People of Fiji, may I remind you all about the first promise made by the dictator to hold free and fair elections in March 2009. That promise was made to the European Union and the Pacific Island Forum. The dictator often laughed about this in private, and he made that promise with no actual intention of honoring it. Just like his first promise, the 2014 elections will never be staged in Fiji. It is only a ploy to soften the international community from the smart sanctions and extract as much loans from donor agencies to sustain the cruel dictatorship until they could, for self-interested ambitions.